adversity with the rain in the middle of it, but how did you feel the team performed first game of the year?
Well, really impressed with our perseverance through the inclement weather. Nobody expected that. They didn't expect rain last night. We got a ton. Tonight again, we got a ton, and you have a football field that can handle it, right? Kudos to our grounds people, but these young men, along with their teammates, really shined in the face of something that they couldn't control. I thought it was really impressive. TreShawn had some really big catches and touchdowns early in the first half. People probably forget that this game was 7-0 after one quarter, and so it was definitely highly contested. I felt like we were on the cusp, right? Amaun got a huge pick before half that kind of propelled us. I think it was before half, but he got a huge pick that propelled our offense to another score right before half because they were in their 2-minute mode, and we ended up punching it in, which was nothing short of impressive. And, you know, kudos to my coaches too, right? I think all the players played exceptionally hard, and I think we're trusted to the football family. I think our people that are in the room are really loving one another and buying into what they're being told. Nobody's perfect. These guys weren't even perfect, but they played one heck of a football game. But those coaches have been working their tails off all through fall camp. They've been putting these guys in positions to make plays, and they're delivering. We couldn't be more proud when we hit our, turnover battle. We win that star. We win the point star for offense, 31 plus. We win the point star for defense of 19 or less. We win the point star for rushing on offense. And so the only other star that I'm not sure if we hit or not was defense giving up less than 100 yards rushing, which is tough to do in today's game, but it's really important. Last year when we went to Northwest Missouri State at their house, I thought we had a little shock and awe. We shocked and awed them, and they never recovered from it. I think they knew who we were this year, and I expected the fight that they had early, but they never quit, right? They're down 35-0, and they come back and put a few scores on the board and, make us think twice about what we're doing offensively, defensively, and special teams. But we got 4 stars last year down at Northwest Missouri State, and we got 4 stars this year. All of last year, I think we only got 4 out of 5 stars 2 or 3 times the whole year playing 14 games, right? And so really proud of these guys. Now the standard is to hit those stars, right? And we're going to play a really tough team here in a week or so, but we got 24 hours to enjoy this, and couldn't be more proud of both these young men who are playing their senior season and shining and showing everybody else how to do it.
Are you looking for turning points? You mentioned a couple of them, but Amaun, obviously yours was huge. Describe what you were thinking on that play, how that developed.
Honestly, I knew it was kind of raining. The ball was slippery, so I was looking for the overthrow, but it's credit to my D-line. The boys out there playing, and they got pressure on the QB, caused the overthrow. That's how I got the pick, so credit to them.
And Trey, a couple of new quarterbacks that weren't starters last year. They both performed well. How's the chemistry coming together between you guys, all 3 of you?
Chemistry's going good. I think it looked pretty good tonight, and I got faith, trust, and belief in both of them. So I would say the chemistry's very good.
Coach, Travis mentioned about quarterback. How do you think Mitchell handled that first start he had today?
I think he did fine. He played last year, so it's not like he didn't play any football. And Maximus, this was his first college experience in the second half. I thought Mitchell played a really good football game. I thought he ran the ball really well. He made some good throws. I thought he got a little cautious, right, when we were up. I thought he started looking for the check down too early, right? He didn't want to make a mistake. So we've got to just tell these guys to let it rip, and they're not going to be perfect, but you got to let it go, right? But I thought Mitchell had a great game, and his teammates definitely helped him through that, but really proud of him and Maximus. I thought Maximus coming out in the second half, we're up 21-rip, and then for him to take our team down there and score a touchdown, that's also equally as impressive. And then Mitchell came back and got another one, and by then it was time to shut her down a little bit, and Maximus handled that well too. So we really love both quarterbacks, and we'll continue to evaluate and assess, and we'll put guys out there that can help us win football games, and they both can do that.
TreShawn, how did the offense handle here in the new
I think we handled it pretty well. Like you said, Mitch played last year a little bit, And I just think, just us coming together in the fall camp and just really trusting in him and what his leadership. I mean, he's an outstanding player, and he's got a great voice, great leader. So I don't think it was, really hard to kind of, adjust to Mitch kind of running our offense. I think he's done a great job.
And then just for all you guys, just how's it looking this first game under your belt?
It feels good, honestly. Honestly, it's been my first game since 2022, so it definitely felt good to get back out there and play some ball, play with my guys. I definitely love them boys, so it felt great, man. Ready for next week.
You talked earlier in the week, Coach, about respecting every opponent that you face this year. You knew Northwest was going to come and give you a good effort. They've historically been a great program. Did you feel that the guys respected their opponent tonight?
Yeah, part of my pregame speech was talking about the unknown. So it was my first bullet point is we don't know a lot about who we are. We don't know a lot about what they are. They have a new coaching staff. They obviously have had staff members that played and coached against us on numerous different teams, whether it's Sioux Falls or Wayne or their head coach was the head coach at Wayne at one point in time, quite a few years back. So the familiarity for them, I thought, was more than what we knew about what they were going to do going into the game. And so I personally believe that uneasiness, that little bit of uncomfort, right, creating a little bit of anxiety, but the key was our guys didn't have fear. They didn't play with fear. They played with love, and they truly just poured it out there for the brotherhood, and I was really impressed with them.
Establishing the run game is important in any football game, of course. Sam Backer was there for you today. You also got some great run plays from your quarterbacks coming through the line. How would you evaluate the run game?
Well, I think it was really good. Sam Backer had 21 carries for 116, and those were some hard running, too. I thought they had some boys that were definitely putting some licks on them. And, when you cramp up, we're going to take a hard look at his hydration plan because we take a lot of pride in that. But I think he was also pushing it out there as hard as he could. And, sometimes that stuff happens, but rarely it does. But, boy, did he run hard. He was nifty. He was crafty, and he broke a couple of what we call bigs, plays of 10 yards or more. And we'll assess how many of those we had. But I think we got to 20, which is part of our standard of excellence and excelling. And I think Sam had a few of those himself, along with TreShawn and Mitchell might have had a couple, too, running the ball. But, Sam ran hard, but if he was sitting up here, just like TreShawn gives his teammates and Amaun gives his teammates credit, he would say that it's, all about the offensive line, tight ends and receivers and everybody blocking for him. And sometimes the quarterback even blocks for him. So it's a team, right? We're a unit on offense, and for us to score 38 on one of the better defenses last year, I'm not sure how they're going to bow this year for the rest of the season, but they definitely put some points up last year. They held opponents down with the points. So for us to put that many points on the scoreboard, I think it was just a little bit more than last year, but really impressive. And Connor Fournier, we had struggled a little bit in fall camp with extra points and field goals, just whether it was snapping or holding or kicking, a combination of all three. That unit went 5 for 5 on extra points and 1 for 1 on field goals. So, you cross your fingers a little bit when you send a unit out there that may not have done exceptionally well in fall camp. But we train, we prep so that these guys can peak for the game, and I think they all peaked really well. And the respect level was really high, and we did a lot of things well with 250-plus yards rushing.
For either of you guys, after the rains came, field condition changes, it's a lot slicker out there. Did you change the way that you planned or the way that you played at all after the rain?
I think, I don't think I kind of changed. I would say that I paid more attention to detail and keeping, my feet under myself and just, being in my frame. But other than that, you got to be ready, and we practice in the rain, in fall camp and things like that. So I think we were prepared, and we understand playing on grass, and we know how to stay in our frame and just keep our feet under us.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Appreciate you
Thank
guys.
you.
Horns up.
Bro, hard.